Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Now apparently there are no true figures to show exactly how long waiting lists are here in the UK for those with mental health issues. However, what I do know is that the wait is too long. As someone who has been on numerous waiting lists for mental health treatment over the years, it definitely has an impact. The kind of impact can range from taking time off of work and school, or even in severe cases having to stop working altogether. And of course, another consequence of long waiting lists is that people's lives can change dramatically. And with mental health, many patients become upset about waiting too long for treatment as they begin to think that those who are meant to support them have forgotten about them, hence making their conditions worse. Am I saying that there shouldn't be a waiting list at all for mental health service treatments? No, of course not. That would be completely impossible. Mental health is an extremely common issue nowadays, and no way would we all be able to be seen straight away. However, having to wait for several months or even years is just too long. And yes, in some cases, people have had to wait 2.5, and even 3 years for the treatment that they need for their mental health. And I'm hoping that spreading awareness somehow will encourage the NHS to invest more money into mental health services. Through research, I've learned about a campaign called We Need to Talk, which is led by 5 of the leading mental health organisations. Their goal is to increase investment in mental health companies in the NHS and also to widen our access to therapies on the NHS too. I would definitely recommend checking it out if you're interested. In a survey taken from March 2006, yes, I know that's over 10 years ago, but bear with me here, a massive 93% of doctors explained that they were forced to give out antidepressants to patients rather than offering them talking therapy treatments, purely because of how unavailable they are and the massive waiting lists. CBT, or cognitive behavioural therapy, was also not even offered to patients in a fifth of our doctors' surgeries. And at that time, back in 2006, the waiting list was approximately 5 months. And of course, in the over 10-year difference between now and 2006, we are in an even worse position surrounding mental health and the treatment that the NHS offer. Many people who need that kind of treatment actually decide that they do not want to go ahead with it simply because of the waiting lists being too long. People often tend to pay for private treatment for their mental health issues because of long waiting lists, which I think is wrong, considering not everybody can afford private health care for anything, not just for mental health. I mean, I would love to go private and get everything sorted straight away, but I do not have any money. And I think, that's the same for many other people. An article written by The Independent, which was published in Feb 2018, claims that people in Leicestershire experienced the longest waiting time for treatment, and the majority of NHS organisations are often not even recording how long patients are waiting for treatment. The article goes on to say that doctors were warned about the inequality faced by people suffering with mental health, but we have seen very little improvement in the waiting times. A massive 9 out of 10 organisations still do not record the waiting times for its patients. Out of the ones that actually did keep any records, 3,700 patients waited over 6 months and 1,500 waited a year and a half. In Croydon, more than 100 children with mental health issues had to wait over 6 months for treatment. The Independent even reported of a 20-year-old female who was self-harming and was regularly taking overdoses, and she was forced to wait a year and a half for the support that she badly needed. There is of course no doubt that some people will die, and some people do die whilst waiting for the help that they need regarding mental health. Dr. Sue Misen, who was the chair of the medical psychotherapy facility at the Royal College of Psychiatrists, warned that policymakers must wake up to the fact that without strict measuring and recording of the therapies on offer, they are not only failing to provide adequate treatment for patients with severe and enduring mental health problems, but are also wasting vast amounts of money in the process by not providing patients with the appropriate psychological response, proving that patients will become increasingly vulnerable over the period of waiting time, and many people agree that this is not acceptable, and I, of course, am one of them. If you feel like you've been waiting far too long for mental health treatment, then take a look at an NHS article entitled Guide to Waiting Times in England. It basically runs through all of your rights and goes into detail about the things that you're able to do if you need to take anything further. I would definitely recommend it just so you know where you stand with waiting lists. Everything including that article used to make this video will be linked down below in the description. Moving on to something by The Guardian about the waiting times. They revealed that many who are in need of treatment are not just waiting too long for what they need, but are also ending up in financial distress, ending up jobless, and ending relationships and even getting divorced over their mental health when they wait too long for treatment. More than a third of patients with mental illnesses saw their mental health getting even worse during their time on waiting lists to see specialists. Delving a little bit further into this, 36% of the people who confessed that their mental health got worse whilst on waiting lists admitted that they had experienced relationship difficulties. 34% said that they had issues at work, which includes losing their jobs, and 32% got into some kind of financial problem because of their mental health issues whilst they were on waiting lists. So what do you guys think on this? Let me know in the comments section down below. Have you ever had some kind of experience, a bad or good experience, of course, on waiting lists for mental health therapy? I know I have. I'm on a couple of waiting lists at the moment to do with mental health, and it is the most just aggravating thing, because you do just kind of give up hope that they are not going to ever get back to you and they've forgotten about you. And yeah, I mean, it's difficult, but what do you think? Let me know in the comment section down below. I really do hope that the government and the NHS are taking more notice of people with poor mental health. We do need to look after ourselves, not just physically, but mentally as well. I do want to end this video on a better note. I know this has been very, very serious video, a very serious topic, and so I do want to end it on kind of just a lighter and more positive note. Look after yourself. Look after the body that you're in. Look after each other. If you think that somebody is suffering, please take note. Ask if they're okay. And I don't just mean a quick, "Are you all right?" You know, I mean really sit down with them and ask if they're all right, whether that's a friend, family member, whoever it is. If you think they're struggling, try to help them out and guide them in the right direction. We need to look after each other more than any other time, I think. We need to look out for each other more. So please look after yourselves. Look after everybody else around you. I really hope that you found this video helpful or useful or interesting in some way. If you did, make sure to leave this video a big thumbs up. If you're new here, click on that subscribe button. I've done a lot of other videos on mental health, so I will link a few of my previous mental health videos in the description box down below, along with the sources that I used to create this video. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you in my next video.